Got you. Got you.
All right, all right. Party people in the place to be. All you punk rockers out there, man. Like, this is pretty cool. I'm really excited to be doing this. It's been a while since we did one of these. And Joe, man, what is up tonight, man? Like, this is kind of your brainchild originally, and we had so much fun. Like, we always wanted to continue it, but it took us a while to get back to it. So,
yeah, well, we started off as Pink Distortion back when we were the Pink Buzz, and then we rebranded and trying to figure out a different name to get rid of all the old branding. So drop the Pink, and then it came to be Heavy Rotation. You know, like what we all have songs that we put on our rotation, sometimes more or less. So I figured Heavy Rotation's a good little moniker for the segment. And it's been almost, I think, if we would have gone till June, I think it would have been 2 years since we did our last music episode. So it's long overdue, and it should be a fun one. We're going to recommend punk albums to try to get people into punk rock. So I know a lot of people went back and forth and didn't know what to pick and changed their minds and went back. And so trying to pick,
the best that we could think of.
The best, but also like not to make it too jarring for someone who's not into it too. I think I took that approach. Like I took the approach of, if I was trying to get my mom into punk rock, I have a few albums in there that maybe people that really don't like heavier or music like that. Maybe I have one album in there that she could probably tolerate and not like turn that shit off, so so we'll see what everyone thinks, what they came up with a list to try to get new listeners to punk rock into the genre of punk rock.
But as host, man, we got to peek at everybody's picks, and we got a really diverse range of punk rock. It's actually going to be a really exciting show. It's not like we all picked like the same style of bands all the right way around, And so
let's we got our panel. We got our panel here. Let's go around and let everyone introduce themselves. We'll start at the top with Celine.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah,
I'm Celine, also known as Pew Pew Kid
on socials. Yeah,
exactly. I'm a huge fan of punk rock and art, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. You do it's the flea market season, right? So you're doing like punk rock flea markets and stuff like that these days.
Yeah, I do a lot of markets to sell my illustrations and all the products that I do with them. So yeah, I have fun with
what's up.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, Joe, show him your shirt. That's one of hers.
Yeah, that's one of my shirts.
That's one of her designs. You like to mash up popular movies or shows with punk albums?
Yeah, it's one of the things that I love to draw. Yeah.
Yeah. You have a site, but right now it's being revamped. You're kind of tweaking it, so it's down for now. But if eventually you'll have it back up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for now, I only have Instagram, but I will revamp my website and it will be available soon.
Yeah, that's pewpewkid.com if people
exactly
want to go check it out once it's back up. Like you could take a note and go check it out, or follow Celine on socials at pewpewkid, and you have a link tree in your bio that you can people can click on to keep track if we're at whatever flea markets or when your site is back up.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's go down, man. Chase, how's it going?
Not too bad. Just going day by day. Can't wait to talk about punk. Love punk music.
Speaking of punk, you've liked punk for quite a while, and you said you dropped something the other day that I found interesting. Is you took your daughter to her first shit, I'm lost for words now. Protest, right?
Oh, my son. Yeah. I took both my sons to their first protest the other day.
Yeah. So,
they got to hold up their signs and everything.
There you go. Yeah. So that's kind of in the spirit of punk,
It's very much in the spirit of punk. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
listening to Police and Thieves on the way, just letting them
Yeah, cool.
immersing. Not been into much lately. I do a little. Lauren has started back up Friendly Neighborhood a little bit. Comic show. We've been doing a little writing. She started a website and stuff, so I've been doing that. But other than that, not much going on.
Cool. All right, we'll move it over to the side, to the left. Dean.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I pierced my nipples with safety pins just for the show. I'm very excited.
Nice.
You use the potato on the other side, so like you just push the pin
Pencil
through
eraser.
the potato. Yeah.
Pencil eraser.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Old school.
Like back of class.
I'm gonna be giving India ink tattoos later after the show.
Hopefully no one gets an infection.
Nah.
That'd be pretty punk rock of them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
would have
no.
been scammed up. There's nothing more punk than that.
Tattoo gun made out of guitar string and a remote control car motor.
A tape
That's
deck.
total punk rock. Yeah. Oh yeah, out of a Walkman too. Good call. That was another.
Yeah. And as usual, I'm going to be putting together a playlist from the discussion. So we have the link.
Hey guys, hold on. I gotta jump out for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. We have the link in the description. So once the episode's done, I'll be adding songs as we discuss live. So I'll be like completing the playlist as we're going, and it'll follow the discussion. So if you watch it on the replay, you could actually tune into the playlist and just click it and listen while we're talking, which I think is pretty fun. So yeah. All right. So who should we go with first? We'll go with let's go with Dean. Let's
wait for Chase to get back. Actually, let's ask
Chase?
Dean. Like, how'd you get into punk rock? Because you kind of explained like your scene earlier off air, and then that's kind of interesting. I kind of like learning how people got involved in the scene. So, Dino Bambino, you want to go ahead and let us know?
Yeah. So I grew up I live in a really rural community, so it's we have more cows than people. So there was one record store like 20 minutes away in the nearest city, and I'd mow lawns all the time for old people to gather money so I could go buy punk rock 7-inches and 40 ounces of beer. And it was like the greatest time to be alive. Get comic books, beer. 7-inches cost like $3,
Yeah.
and it was just, I love the 90s. That's how I got into it.
I remember, like, yeah, you could get that was the cheapest way to actually get punk albums, was to get them on vinyl at the time. I remember, like, even with the more popular bands, like if you were ordering off of Epitaph and shit, if you bought the records, they were like a good $5 cheaper than the CDs and shit were back then. And then yeah, like for a EP, yeah, you're looking at maybe $5 at the most, depending on like if you're like buying a fat record band or if you're buying like something from the street. So yeah.
Yeah, and it was hard for me because there was no outlet. You couldn't hear new music, like they didn't play it on the radio, anything good. So you had no way of figuring out what you should buy. So if you're going to drop like $15 on an album, you had to guess, or else you had to hear it from somebody else, from like a mixtape or something.
Or you get lucky, because I love punk rock compilations. We've actually done a couple episodes on them, and yeah, they were like the perfect way to kind of find new bands out and try to like hunt their records down. I loved, like every record company did it, man. Like just best songs from their best bands, and oh yeah, there's her Mars Attacks Lady Di Di Misfits shirt.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Thank you.
I was a big fan of Fat Music for Fat People
Yeah.
and the Punkaramas.
Punkaramas, but like Nitro Records did them, and even like the smaller record labels like New Red Archives had I forget their whole little thing was to making fun of Fat and Epitaph. They were like so snarky because they were like, the hippie punk pretty much record label. They had like Anti-Flag and shit on them back in the day, back before they were terrible people.
They were at that time too, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
Cool logo though.
I'm talking back like you gotta die for
Well-
your government time, dude. Like,
What'd they do? They're bad people.
their lead singer, man, he is a rapist, pretty much from what I understand. He even tried to
Oh,
run.
no way.
Yeah, he tried to actually flee the country and shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the least punk rock thing ever.
yeah. Justin
Rape.
Sane is a sexual offender.
Yuck.
Yep.
No.
Well, not wearing that T-shirt anymore.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it was
Just,
pretty big news about 6 months ago, right?
Mhm.
Around,
yeah, probably almost a year now, I think.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cookie. She's in the chat. How's it going, Cookie? Mm. Mm-mm. So did you want to ask the question to everyone, Johnny? The same question?
yeah, pretty much. Go
Okay.
ahead and go around with that.
Okay.
So you want to go with Celine or Chase?
yeah,
Or...
Celine, go ahead.
How did I get into punk rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm a little younger than you guys, so maybe it was like with Much Music and Music Plus in
Mhm.
French, with 123 Punk.
Yeah.
That was like a TV show with Reg Laplanche, and he introduced people to punk rock music with that. So I was introduced to like skate punk mostly,
Yeah.
and after that, because I was always into activism, feminism, and stuff like that. So skate punk is a lot of it's like frat boys and dudes and stuff like that. So I went into more Riot Girl punk, and then I discovered a lot of other bands in that area. So yeah, that pretty much started there for me.
Cool.
And ska music too.
Cool. Chase.
So all right. So how I got into punk. I mean, I guess pretty young. I always listen. My dad listened to a lot of music, and I guess I'd always known like the Clash and the Ramones and all that. And I guess not until middle school or about '98 into high school did I realize like that it was punk music. And in West Virginia, especially Clendenin, West Virginia, there's not a lot of people listening to punk music. There's two other guys in my school, and through those guys, we started just like trading cassettes and CDs back and forth to each other. One guy, Gilmore, no longer with us. He was the one who gave me like Fat Music, Fat People first time in Punkaramas and stuff. And then like MTV had a cable station called MTVX, and they played punk and metal on there. And I started learning punk bands through that too. And I just kind of got into it from there.
Cool.
We shouldn't forget, I don't know for you, Chase, but MySpace too helped me a lot. Discover new bands.
I would say a lot of Kazaa and LimeWire, trying to download songs and end up getting Pennywise or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So are we going to answer the question too, Johnny? You want to do it too, or?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, I was I don't know, I kind of listened to what my parents listened to for like a lot of my childhood. And yeah, I listened to like Neil Young, Motown, whatever they'd put on, and I liked most of it. And then like when I first started getting into music, like I actually got into hip hop kind of first, like with MC Hammer and shit like that. But then the alt rock scene happened, and like just with all the weird kind of goofy, like anything from like hippie bands to like almost cartoon-esque bands. Like I had a lot of fun with the early alt rock scene, but that's how I got into punk rock, because Green Day came out. And that blew my goddamn little fourth grade mind. And and then I found out they're from Berkeley, like they're just over the Altamont from me, so that was so gangster. And then Offspring came out, Rancid came out, and after that, like I just listened to punk rock, you know what I mean, and got into heavier stuff or lighter stuff depending on what I was into at the moment. Like Celine, I like a lot of ska core. I like a lot of traditional ska as well. I like even two-tone ska from England. So I'm pretty well versed on the type of punk rock I like. Like I didn't have a problem listening to anybody's picks tonight. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel snobby about it, one of them. So yeah.
I'm pretty similar to Chase's story. I come from a really small town. We were when I was a kid, the population was 500 people in my town. So a really, really small town. And like kids may not understand this now because now you have Spotify, YouTube. You can get anything you want at your fingertips within seconds. But back then, you had to go out and buy these things. You didn't have
search for them. Like,
yeah,
they
search
weren't
for 'em.
readily available either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It was a crapshoot, right? And you had to buy it and listen to it. You weren't able to sample it or anything. So I mean, and I think it's a detriment to music today because now it's like people listen to something once and throw it away. Whereas like when you paid $25, like I paid 25 Canadian roughly, that's what the like punk albums were going for because they weren't
yeah,
as
it's either
popular.
your favorite thing for a
Yeah.
while or you hated it because
Yeah.
like you
But
got burnt on what.
You gave
It
it a
just stayed in your
chance.
CD player. It just kept
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, you gave it a chance. You gave it 3 or 4 listens to because you just dropped some coin on that, right? It's
Mhm.
not. So I think now a lot of maybe songs like people don't let it grow on them. Like back in the day, I remember music used to grow on you. Like some bands you really didn't get into it right away, but then on the 3rd or 4th listen, you're like, oh fuck, this is really good. And
Yeah,
those
that's so
albums,
true.
and those end up being your like favorite albums that last you a lifetime that you never get sick of, as opposed
Or your
to the
favorite
ones
songs
that
on an album.
yeah, or opposed to the ones that like right away you're like, oh, that's catchy, and you get into it right away, and after a while, I think those you kind of get sick of. But the ones that take you 3, 4, 5 listens to, it's because there's something in a little more like intricate in the music, or like little intricacies that really appeal to you and stuff. So yeah, like Chase, we'd trade, like we'd all buy different stuff and just make like tapes and trading tapes. And if you didn't like a CD in one of your, you'd trade CDs with friends to try to make that hurt a little less for dropping all that money on CDs and stuff, make it sting a little less. So yeah. And then we'd take trips to Burlington. There was this little music indie shop in Burlington we used to go to where you could find like punk, like punk bands, because I mean, it was really radio music is all you could buy on like CDs and cassettes. Like we had an HMV not too far, but they didn't carry, like they carried the more popular punk stuff, like let's say Green Day, or if who was the band that broke through, Offspring, when Come Out and Play, that song came out, so they blew up. You could find stuff like that, but when you wanted to find some more obscure stuff, you really had to like find an indie music shop, and those were hard to find around where I
don't
live,
know if it
so.
was everywhere, but like Targets in my area, like you could find weird bands. Like you could, I could get like Social Distortion albums there. Like,
Yeah.
like certain weird punk bands would pop up at like Target
Yeah.
on tape. You know what I mean? And like you'd get lucky then. But
We didn't have a Target till like 2010s. I'm small, man.
Same here.
I will say I should have mentioned I have a younger brother. We're only like 13 or 14 months apart. We're essentially twins, and he was into punk as well. So I would spend money on something, he would spend money on something. So like we would have 2 incomes or 2 birthday monies or whatever, and trade with each other as well. Or we'd shared a room. I shared a room with both my brothers. So I mean, we didn't trade. We sat in the same room and listened, but so that helped out too. Same with comics. Me and him would buy a series each of comics instead of overbuying them, and we just shared our collections.
Cool. All right. So I think we did the rounds, Johnny. You ready to get into the picks?
yeah, man, you got your rotations yet, Joe?
Well, what I'll do is as I pick someone, I'll just delete the album after we're done talking about it. That way I won't lose track of where I am.
Oh shit. Cute.
So I said we'll start with Dean, and then we'll go down to Celine, and we'll hit Chase. We'll go back up to you, and we'll finish with me. All right. So Dean, what album do you want to talk about first? Dean?
You're on mute.
Uh-oh.
Shit, sorry about that. I feel like I'm on a work conference call. Let's start at number 5 with the
Oblivions. All right, number 5.
And popular favorites. So what I did was I did kind of what Joe did. Tried to think of the most accessible albums that I could think of that would make somebody want to listen to punk rock, but also there's so many subsets to punk rock. There's so many different classes to it. So I tried to pick a different class with each album, and this would be what I'd call
Rockabilly?
no, more like barroom punk. You know, like some people would call it gutter punk. We'd call it bar or blues punk.
Yeah,
Kinda
it's
like
very bluesy. Well, I listen to it at work. It's very bluesy, eh?
yeah, kind of like the Deadly Snakes. But yeah, they were a really cool band. They actually a kid showed up. A really funny story about them. A kid showed up at their studio and asked just like if he could hang out and watch them, and it was Jay Reatard. So he grew up like watching the Oblivions play, and then started his own band and recorded at their studio. And they ran a pretty popular record company. I can't remember what it was called now. Shit. I should have taken notes. But anyway, that was one of my favorites, and I think that's a great album in the barroom category.
If you had one song to recommend off it, what song would you pick?
You Fuck Me Up, You Put Me Down. I love that song. That's one of my favorite punk rock songs.
Cool, man.
I like the
Very
title
cool.
too.
It's fun.
All right. You fuck me up, you put me down. Yeah. Sweet. All right. So one down. All right. We'll go with Celine.
So I guess we go with the classics, and also since you have my shirt, I'm gonna talk about Descendants.
Nice.
Everything Sucks. I think it's a really huge classic in punk rock. I think if you like anything, also kind of a little pop punk, I think it's a good band to listen if you like that. It changed everything for me too. That's when I realized also that the punk rockers were also huge teddy bears because of the lyrics and stuff. Descendants are huge lovers as well. So yeah, it really influenced all my love for punk rock. So that's a huge album for me.
Nice. One song off the album that you'd recommend, or one of your
Oh
favorites?
my god, the album is so good. I will go with the title song "Everything Sucks."
Everything
That's
Sucks.
really like it starts the album like in a boom. So I really hope you guys enjoy it
Cool.
if you don't know them already.
Nice.
I think when I close my eyes and think of what punk, like just punk music, I think of Descendants sound.
Of course.
Like that's the sound of punk to me. Like their first first three albums were really just what punk should be.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the attitude too, and like it's all the same members since forever or almost, but like, and Milo is so like super geek and also super intelligent and really well spoken. So yeah, I love that band.
Cool. Chase, you're up.
Do you have anything you want to share, or you want me to just jump into whichever one I want to do?
Pick one, and if you don't have it, I have all your picks here.
Okay, cool. All right, then I'm going to start off with my favorite, probably. Or these are all. I hate saying my favorite because everything's just so good. But Operation Ivy, Energy, is it's just 19 tracks, and I can't skip any of them. To this day, I still don't skip any songs on this album. It's hard to do on vinyl anyway, but it was like you see where Rancid came from with the elements from Operation Ivy, just mixing a little Clash and you get Rancid, you know. Bass driven, Matt Freeman is, I hate saying things are my favorite. Matt Freeman is my favorite bassist of all time. I love Matt Freeman. This is my first introduction to him. Just the Hellcat hectic ska sound they do. I tried to write a bunch of stuff down. Tim Armstrong. Also, just one of my favorite albums. It's just so good. It's pure punk.
Back in Op Ivy days, he was called Lint.
Yeah, Lint Armstrong.
Yeah.
And he's still kicking too. His albums, his new bands and stuff are great.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff. He's very active.
Yeah, he's
collaboration, his own bands. Yeah. Any song? Any song on there you want me to add on the playlist?
Bad Town.
Bad Town. Bad Town's great.
Bad Town. All right, I guess Johnny picked it for you.
It's just I can't pick one. They're
Yeah, it's hard to
also.
pick,
I mean,
man.
it'd be hard.
What I mean, the crowd.
Yeah.
He's a
Cool.
bombshell. Like it's got like all the fucking hits, man.
Vulnerability in the crowd are up there.
Caution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freeze Up, Room Without a Window, Big City. Just listen to the whole album. It's only 36 minutes.
Yeah, that's one thing that's good about a lot of punk albums. Songs are short and fast, right? A lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's 19 songs and only 36 minutes. So it's not you're not putting in a lot.
Well, they're a ska-core band, but at the same time, they're like just so furious, man. Like the record grabs you by the nuts and keeps twisting until it's done, man. Like it's
And it talks about important shit in it too, man. It's all about like trying to bring people together in unity, but it points out like corruption and just what it's like, and like I guess being poor in California, I wouldn't know, but I mean, just it's
Berkeley.
Yeah.
The Berkeley band.
Yeah. Johnny, man, you're up. What are you picking? What song? Which album are you going with?
I'm going with another Berkeley band, another one that's like really just an intense album that grabs you and doesn't let you go like the whole time. I'm gonna go with AFI. It's Very Proud of Ya. Not actually my favorite album of theirs, but like it is the one that I would recommend that would like really help get people into punk rock because it's got these really tight, really cool lyrical, very melodic vocal patterns that Davey does like through all the songs. The hooks are catchy, man. It's a very, very just exciting album. Like the vocal styles, like I said, you got the gang vocals, you got the callback and respond vocals. It's if you like to sing along to your shit, like this is the perfect album to probably do that because like everybody's singing along to the choruses of the song and the whole band, you know what I mean? So you might as well join in too. And yeah, it's great, man. Like they sing about some serious shit too. Like there is some like really good straight edge anthems on this song on this album, and they're also I attack a part of straight edge. I see a lot of other people in the scene like avoid, and that's the celibacy aspect of it. There are several songs about not fucking on this album if you don't want to, you know what I mean, which I thought was pretty cool statement for a punk rock band in like 1994 to be saying, you know what I mean? Like if you don't want to fuck, man, don't try to do it just to be cool, you know what I mean? And a lot of other straight edge bands, they kind of forget that tenet of it. They could just do the no drugs and no drink, but like
or veganism and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of vegan shit on this album too, but like it's just so fun though. It's fun and catchy. It's got a lot of pop sensibilities to it, even though it kind of skirts on the edge of being hardcore-ish at times. I would still put it as like a kind of a pop punk album, definitely skate punk album. And yeah, if you like Op Ivy and like kind of the crazy lyrical kind of melodic lyric styles that Jesse would do in Op Ivy songs, like Davey kind of does that, but like with hardcore. It's pretty cool. I really like but like this is kind of a band that either people love or hate though. Davey's voice is kind of a deal breaker with a lot of people because Davey be squeaky. Get ready for that. Davey be squeaky.
It works well with the band though, I think.
Yeah.
See, I came into them late, like their later albums, and I was like, man. And when you told me you liked them, I was like, you like AFI, and I never really listened to their earlier stuff. So then I went and listened to their earlier stuff. Shit, right? Yeah, Miss Murder and all that crap. Like I was like, oh man, Johnny, you like?
You forget that they were like, you know, in those DIY show names right there beside all the other punk bands. Like you forget. But I think All Hallows Eve EP or whatever is probably my favorite.
All Hallows EPs. I like my favorite album is Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes. Like their actual hardcore album.
Yeah, because
I think they have elements of thrash that I like too.
Yeah, I went back and listened to the early stuff because of Johnny, and their early stuff's really good.
I like November Underground too. I'll listen to Miss Murder. I like even their newest album. That's the coolest thing. Like even though they're not like still doing punk rock, I still think of them kind of as a punk rock band because they'll just make these weird genre albums now that like make no sense in the time period they're putting them out in. So I'm like, I guess that's punk rock, kind of in the same way that like Fucked Up is punk rock, you know what I mean? Like, but not as punk rock as Fucked Up gets.
But I think that's probably because they've been together for so long, right? They've been a band for so long that, you know, bands evolve. Whereas a lot of bands, they do an album or two, they break up, and that's it. So they never had the time to evolve as a group and their music grow and change with them as they get older. So I think that's why when you get bands that are what, they've been a band for 30 years now, probably more than that, almost.
The fixed members have been there since pretty much the Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes tour, but the first album they all played together on was Black Sails in the Sunset. But the Davey and the drummer have been in AFI since 1991 or something like that, before like they went to college, and then they kind of came back and had a kind of almost a rotating band member list. But like once they got their core membership, like they've been that band for about 30 years now. Though.
Okay, so what song are you picking off that album, man?
I'll just go ahead and go with the the crowd pleaser at the beginning, man. He who laughs laughs loudest, longest.
All right, good stuff.
And that's the song that'll catch you and keep you listening, man. So it might as well be the one that I recommend for people.
First song on the album. They know what they're doing. They don't want. They started off with a banger to get people to listen. All right.
Yeah, it's one of their fan favorite songs. Still, they still perform it, even though they do like weird hippie music now.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go with an album that I don't own, but I actually like. I discovered them while driving and listening to XM on Punk Faction. I'm gonna go with Emil and the Sniffers. Comfort to Me.
Oh yeah.
I love. What's her name? Amy Taylor, I think is her name.
Yep.
She's the singer. I love her voice. She really, like, you hear her accent. She doesn't hide it. She really leans into it, and I find that's what gives this band so much character. The songs, like, I just love it.
Mad Max character, man. I hear her singing, and I just think of somebody in the Mad Max clothing just rocking out.
Not my favorite album cover. I'll be honest with you. But this album is pretty cool. It's good.
So good.
The whole album's good. Yeah.
Freaks to the Front was the first song I heard about like on the radio. So then I went and checked out the album, and it was really good. And I often listen to stuff and I don't look at the lyrics, right? So I'm just like working with my earbuds in. And one of the songs called Security, and this is a lyric from it. And tell me what you think she says. Yeah, I don't know. I thought this song was about getting pegged.
Okay.
I thought she said, "Let me in your bum." I was like, "What?"
Oh no!
But when you listen to, then I started paying more attention. It's pub. She says pub.
Yeah.
And I thought she was saying bum the first time I listened to it.
It's the Australian accent.
What I thought.
Yeah. I was like, "Let me in your bum," and it was like a song about looking for love and finding someone. And then I was like, "Oh, maybe she's into ass play." I mean, nothing wrong with that, you know.
No king shaming here.
yeah. So it's great if you like that sassy kind of really she's got a lot of like character in her voice. Like I love it. It really stands out. You don't mistake them. As soon as she starts singing, you know right away which band it is. Good stuff. And I think she just played I think they were playing at Coachella just this year.
They did
a couple weeks ago.
A couple of times. It's not their first Coachella,
already,
but they're I saw them when they were not that big in Montreal. I saw them at Le Ritz.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was insane. They're really beasts on stage. They're amazing. I've never been in a trash like that, like in a mosh pit like that. People were climbing on my back to like push them to push themselves to the pit. And she was distributing a bottle of water for people that were like choking in the mosh pit. So It was an amazing show, and she's so good on stage.
Yeah, it was. It caught my eye right away. So I highly recommend.
They got a really iconic sound. Like Chase was talking about the Descendants. Like when you kind of think of like like what punk rock should sound like ML and the Sniffers kind of has that sound. Like the Chats is another band that I could think of.
Just like if you like that, the Chats. They'll probably be talking about them a little later. So if you like that, the sound where they really lean into their Australian accents and stuff, the Chats is definitely another band people should check out. Yeah. All right, where's my list here? All right, back with Dean. What do you want to talk about this time, Dean?
This one's gonna be real short. Number 4, Zeke, Dirty Sanchez.
My favorite pick of yours, man. Right on.
Yeah, so hardcore punk is always going to be a huge category, a huge subset, and this is one of my favorite hardcore punk albums. Title track, "Let's Get Drugs." It was just like my favorite in high school, and I still like it, you know. But yeah, it was a great album.
Yeah, when you picked this, because you sent me your picks pretty early last week, like in the middle of the week, and I was like, oh, I didn't. The name didn't sound familiar. Then I went and checked the album, and I had like a check mark under one of their songs. So I put one of the song you were talking about in one of my playlists without even, because sometimes I get wrecks when I'm listening, and I'll just hit add to playlist. You know, if it sounds good to me, and I noticed that, yeah, I was very, very vaguely familiar with them, and yeah, it's a great album. I love this album. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's super fast.
Yeah, fast.
And the weird little guitar riffs, man, kind of crack me up because like they'll be doing some hardcore and then like they'll throw in like these kind of just weird like guitar fill-ins that I don't know, kind of give the songs a little extra humor to them. Like I really enjoyed like the sound of the album.
And the intro, the guy talking to "Let's Get Drugs," right? There's a little intro with the guy talking.
Oh yeah.
I thought he sounded a lot like you, Dean.
I wish it was me.
So what song are you picking off this album, man?
Oh, "Let's Get Drugs." Yeah.
Let's Get Drugs. Yeah, that's a good song. I like that one. Yeah, it's fun. It's like, I think that's what's going to be a common thing about a lot of these bands are, you know, like punk does have like a lot of political messages in it and stuff, but I think a lot of our picks are bands that play fun punk music too, you know. So
yeah. I got some political shit for you, dog.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, I think a lot of our picks are pretty fun, and yeah, cool. So then, are you ready to go for yours, or do you want to? Yeah,
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my second pick, I went with other classics. I went with X-Ray Specs, Adolescent. I'm a huge fan of the singer Polystyrene. I choose them also because Polystyrene died April 25th of 2011, so it's a way to celebrate Earth's death. Anyways, I like that album. It's also a classic from the 70s. I think it's a huge album for people who want punk that sound more like with a feminine voice. And she had like such a punch to the face voice, I think, like kind of like Emil and the Sniffers in the same way. And it's also a Black woman, so it was refreshing in that era to have people of color doing music, and that it's not like the Brains or Death or anything like that. And I think it's a really good classic to hear if you want to be into Riot Girl music too. So I think it's a good pick for people who want to listen to different stuff in punk rock. Yeah.
Nice. Any one song in particular you want to pick for the playlist?
On this album, I'll say Plastic Bag. That's one of my favorites.
Plastic Bag. There we go, right there.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Chase, you're up.
All right, since we just mentioned it, I'll just go ahead and say The Chats, Get In Ya is the album.
Yeah.
Or EP, as you'd say. It's pretty much, I probably discovered The Chats the same way everybody did at the time, which was YouTube. And just their video for Smoko, which was hilarious. And made me go look up their EP. And it's just flat out garage punk, like a couple kids who got some instruments are like, let's see what we can do, and they just are having fun, and I love it. Since this EP, they've went on and had 2 studio albums already, which are also pretty good. It's I'd say everyone should give them a shot. Just Australian band, just the early stages of it. Just gives me that feeling of first hearing punk, like just your friends, like first hearing your friends' punk band in their garage or in their basement, more specifically. Like everyone got some instruments and they were just bashing on them, and this is what you get.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
they're
just want to get drunk when you listen to the chats.
Yeah, and laugh. They're funny.
Yeah,
Like
exactly,
it's just like punk out. It reminds me of like Dead Milkmen. Is about the best I could give a like first hearing them.
yeah. Yeah. Well, the chats, funnily enough, it's the first time I met Celine in person was at a concert that the Drug Church Chats and the Bronx was the first time we met, was at the Chats
Yeah,
show.
that's true.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
was a
So it
good
has
show.
That's
too.
awesome.
You guys
Yeah,
saw the Bronx?
the Bronx and Drug Church and Scal opened as well. So that was a pretty solid lineup. It was a good show.
Everybody.
I got a really funny Bronx story.
Oh,
I'll
really?
tell it later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dean.
I saw the Bronx play at Rocket from the Crypt's final show in San Diego, and we were going through the line, and I was talking to their singer, and he's like, "You're a pretty big guy. You think you could take me in a wrestling match?" And I looked at him, and I thought I could, and I was like, no, I've been drinking." And he's like, "Okay, that's all right." And he shook my hand. And the next guy in line, he looked at him and he goes, "You're a big guy. You think you can take me in a wrestling match?" And the guy says, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could." And he picked him up and body slammed him. No hesitation, just threw him to the ground on top of him and just knocked this guy out cold on the ground. And I was like, holy shit, that could have been me. It could have been me. I totally escaped it. They're
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I
And
love
he's like,
their
he's
side
not that.
project, Mariachi El Bronx, too.
Oh yeah,
I've
that's
seen
how
them.
I. That's
They're
how I
awesome.
knew the Bronx.
Mhm.
That's how I knew about that band. I knew Mariachi El Bronx before the Bronx. So
Mhm.
Real fun.
Short music for short people. Is that what the compilation was actually called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that was
about
just a really short songs.
101 bands doing 30-second songs, man. It's a
Oh.
really good record. It's got
Yeah.
like a pretty diverse bunch of bands on it. It's not just fat bands.
All right. Before we move on, Chase, what song you picking off that album?
Just go Smoko.
Yeah,
It's great.
Smoko.
Look it up.
Going with the tried and true. There we go. Nice. All right, Johnny, you're up again.
Since Joe dared me and said that like we're not going to talk about political bands, like I got the Subhumans.
Oh, I didn't
ELP.
dare you. I just said most of the picks are pretty fun, you know.
Oh no, I was going to talk about this regardless, man. This is like one of the cornerstones. Like if you want to get into like British anarcho political punk, like this is probably the best band to do it with because they have a great sense of humor. Like they'll be singing about some serious shit, but they'll put it at such a joking way. Like I don't know. I kind of respect that style. You know, it kind of reminded me of like how the '90s bands were, but like these guys were in the 1987, I believe, is when these first 4 EPs got put out. This is the Demolition War EP. The second one is self-titled, but a lot of people I know call it the Reason for Existence EP, Religious Wars EP, and Evolution EP. And I find a lot of punk bands are at their best at their beginning, and I love
Mhm.
everything the Subhumans have put out. But like, I think EPLP is like their best shit because they were at their wits best at the time, and yeah, and plus like a lot of my picks, they have a very they have some very pop sensibilities to some of their songs with some really great catchy hooks and choruses, which I think really kind of helps people get into like certain types of punk. You know what I mean? If they can, there's like a sing along ability and some melodicism to it that like they can kind of like start grooving with the choruses. And I think Subhumans is a pretty fun band to do that. They don't get too heavy with the musical side. They're kind of almost lighter, like a lot of British bands are. So that they got that going for them too. But they're definitely snotty, and they're definitely gonna sing about some stuff that hurts your feelings. Because like they range on from like testing on animals to cancer to the nuclear state, drug addiction. Like it's all on these albums, but on these EPs. But like I said, it's done with this really sardonic humor to it. So
Mm.
I have a kick. I get a kick out of the bands that do that. So I don't know if anybody else is familiar with this, but does anybody else have an affinity for the Subhumans at all?
Well, I plan on going to see them. They're going to Putza Fest at the outdoor show that's free. So I plan on
Yeah.
Hopefully, if it's not raining, I'm gonna definitely go see them. Fucked Up is playing.
Yep.
Vovoid. Who else was there in the lineup that day? I don't remember who
Which
else,
day?
but the same day as Subhumans. There was
I can go check if you want.
Vovoid was closing the night. Subhumans, I think, Fucked Up, and Vovoid is good. What song you picking off that, Johnny?
Man, there's so many great ones to pick from. I'm gonna go with the Religious Wars. Like, I love that song. It's like the
Religious
first song of theirs I learned how to
Wars.
play on guitar and shit. So yeah.
All right. Did and done. Added. Cool. So yeah, I think when's that? So then May 16th?
Yeah, it is May
May
16th.
16th. So
Yeah.
it's coming up soon.
Yeah,
Another couple weeks.
Yeah, I have my pass. Maxime have it too. He's covering for the Puza Fest too a couple of shows.
Okay,
Really
for the Bad Crew, or
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
Cool.
we're really stoked about that.
Mhm.
So Subhumans is with Fucked Up and Vulgaire Machin, I think.
Oh, they're playing earlier. Okay.
That's what I saw.
I'm gonna go with Wire, Pink Flag. So these guys, British band, part of the British punk invasion from the 70s.
Original generation, right? 77 shit.
Yeah. Right in the 70s with the Sex Pistols and all those Buzzcocks and all those guys coming out back in the 70s with the punk invasion, the British punk invasion. Great album. I mean, there isn't a bad song on the album. I think early punk like that has a little more easier to listen to maybe for people that are coming into punk, because a lot of the influences come from,
They
rock.
sound a lot like the Clash and
Mhm.
Stiff Little Fingers. Like, if you like Stiff Little Fingers and Clash, you'll love Wire. Like, these guys are maybe a little more accessible than either of those bands too. Like, it's like a lot of their songs they jam, but like they got a nice laid back. They're almost an easy core band at some points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they've evolved from album to album, and this is, I think, their second album, possibly. I think this one. So yeah. So I mean, if you like that British sound, and like a lot of these bands some of them went on to be influenced new wave. So you get some of that. Some of those sounds sneak into some of the songs, like you can hear it in these early punk British punk albums. So yeah, so go check it out if you're a fan of any kind of new wave or anything like that. I mean, go check out. It's fairly popular, so if you want to actually buy it, I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to find. So yeah, Wire, Pink Flag.
Yeah, it's definitely like an underground classic, even though it's been around forever and it's somewhat popular. It's never like broken to the mainstream, which is weird because they have a bunch of songs that like I could really hear in like some teen movies and stuff like that. Like,
oh yeah, they have the one song that Elastica ripped off the riff, right? Yeah, they totally ripped it off from Wire. So
yeah, straight up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with X Lion Tamer will be the song I pick for the playlist off this album. I really love that song. It's fun stuff. People can go listen to the playlist. I'm adding songs as we're going. So the playlist, I think it's in the descriptions, right, Johnny? You added it to the descriptions so people can go check it out there. You click the link. You can go find the playlist from tonight's discussion.
I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, yeah. So I'm adding the songs as we're going. So we're back around to Dean.
All right. Since Joe did Wire, I'm gonna skip to number 2 and do Mission of Burma. This was gonna be my what I'd call art punk.
Definitely.
So yeah, they did Peking Spring. They also had a Ryko disc album that's really, really cool, where it's just like all their best of stuff. It's old. I think it was, I don't know what year it came out in, but this is my first introduction to punk music, and how I heard it was a new kid moved to my school. His name was Jacob, and he had a skateboard, and he was like, "Hey, see, you have a skateboard. You want to come over to my house and skate my driveway?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I go over to his house, and his stepfather was an artist, and he had all these really cool albums. And he had this Peking Spring album, and he had a Wire Pig Flag. He had a whole bunch of television albums, just really, really cool shit. So we were playing that Mission to Burma album, and he came home, and we were drinking beer and playing his records. And he was like, "You're fucking dead. You're touching my records." And he grabbed my new friend by the shoulder, and my buddy punched him in the face and busted his nose, and then just started kicking him while this Mission to Burma album was playing. And I still remember it. It was playing the song "This Is Not a Photograph." And while my buddy was like just kicking his stepdad in the face, and I thought, this is for me. This is so punk rock. I love
This
this.
is for me.
Yeah, because like I don't even think people mosh at this band's shows, but like there's something that violent happening listening to it was kind of funny. That's wonderful. I love
They're
this
not,
album
like-
though, man.
It is, it's a great album. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's very very kind of breezy and poppy, right? I definitely call it almost definitely almost easycore in parts. Maybe like a progenitor to easycore. Like
Yeah, kind of new wave. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you're taking "This Is Not a Photograph" as your pick for the
I
playlist.
still love that song. That's still one of my favorite songs to this day.
Brings back memories of kicking stepfather in the face.
Oh, the
put
stories
that in
I
your
had
John
at
Hughes
school
movie, man.
was awesome.
Fucking Dean. All right, so then you're up. Does this story come with a face kicking story?
No, but the next album I want to talk about, I'll go in more recent bands. I heard from them at Puza not last year, the other
The year
year,
before?
I think.
Okay.
And it's called the Middle Age Queers.
Okay.
That's their last album. It's called Theater of Shame. And yeah, their energy is so fun, it's fresh, and they are all the members are queer, obviously, and live they get out of the box. I think that like when they went live, they are very they have bubble machines, and like they run in the crowd, they're doing mosh pits with the crowd, and they're really like I said, queer friendly, because they are all queers. And the music is really fast and funny, and you have fun. There's a song about, like, my song on the new album is "What's Your Favorite Kink?" And they are huge fans also of John Waters and all of his movies, and I'm a huge fan too, so I can relate to that. And I think it's a good band to listen to when you're not into punk rock at the first place, because it's really easy to listen to, and it's really fun to hear the lyrics too. So I think it's a good album to listen if you're not familiar with the punk rock genre.
Okay. So your pick would be "What's Your Favorite Kink?" You say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. Add that to the playlist. Nice. I would be down with the bubble machines at a show.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
They gave like 2 bubble machine to anyone who would like to pick it in the crowd, and we were just running with like the bubble machine, and it was like super fun and super funny. And
because normally you'd think a rave would have like the bubble machine.
Well, when I saw the Locusts, they had bubble machines.
Did they? Yeah. Locusts,
It-
they're the ones who wear the suits, right? They
wear the little the little cricket outfits.
Yeah.
Pearson's band.
Yeah, Pearson. Yeah, for sure.
And they're just so much fun, and like all the merch is very cool too. It's really fun. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Chase, you're up. What are you picking?
I'm kind of hating myself because I went more like obvious ones, and everyone else is picking a lot of cool shit. But
No, but that's all right, man.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you picked your picks, because they are essentials. You know what I mean? God damn it.
That's what I was trying to think of. Anyway, so I'm just going to go with another essential. The Clash London Calling is my pick. It's from 1979. 19 tracks again. I think a lot of albums with 19 tracks. The cover is a cool story. Is that it was just Simonon was the bass player was angry at the security for not letting fans like jump up and down and stuff. So he just destroyed his bass on stage out of frustration with them, and that someone captured the picture, and that's what that is. And the lettering, the logo is an homage to Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Because I guess Joe Strummer had just seen him in concert or had seen him that like year and really fell in love with him, his music. But anyway, it's just a great album. It has a lot of different sounds to it in this album. It's probably their first stint pushing more away from punk and going more into like
ska,
a mainstream sound.
Mm-hmm.
And they had kind of a ska influence on this one.
Reggae.
This
ska,
one did. And after this album, they went to Santanista, which had a huge hip hop influence into it. So they were really changing their sounds and stuff.
Magnificent Seven.
I think Topper Heaton is one of the best punk drummers, especially for that early time, because he could just play any time signature. He could switch it up. He could play any style. And I think he is the credit for a lot of their sound. But just as overall getting into punk, this is probably, though it's not their biggest punkish album, it's their most popular album. And I think it's just got so many classic, great songs on it that it's good. I guess when you're getting into the genre, it's a good place to start.
Yeah. There's some really good tunes on this one. I mean, what song would you pick off this for the playlist?
It's funny because he said because Johnny said the ska elements. I'm gonna go Rude You Can't Fail. I love that song.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
On the routes of the 9th Street bus.
But it's got so many good. Guns of Brixton's another great one. Four Horsemen.
It's
Train of Maine is on them.
It's not for nothing. It's considered a classic, right? It's
right.
And they were notorious for loving it when people destroyed the arenas that they performed in. I was watching a thing on Joe Strummer, right? That's the singer guitarist, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they had an interview, and they played at this place, and I guess there were seats, right? And people were like ripping the seats out of the floor, like kicking them and breaking them and stuff. And they interviewed him after, and like he's like, "Oh, this isn't too bad. I was hoping they would have wrecked the place more, and stuff like that."
They were the first time like a real punk rock band got crossover appeal. They hit the mainstream, like. Some of their later songs like Rock the Casbah and shit was huge on MTV, but they were still little snot-nosed shitheads, you know what I mean? So that was kind of, they were the first time that kind of happened.
Mm-hmm.
They would get in arguments with their label and stuff about ticket prices because they wanted anybody to come see their shows, and they would open up windows and back doors and just let fans in without paying and stuff, just to get people into their shows, as many as they wanted and stuff. There's pictures of them holding windows open and letting people crawl in and stuff.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
There's really good Clash audio documentary on Spotify that I'm trying to remember what it was called. I would just look up the Clash documentary on Spotify. It's really good. It's 5 episodes long. It's great.
Okay. Cool. Johnny, man, you're up next.
All right, I'm gonna go with we're gonna get a little extreme with this one. I'm going with some boots and hair glue punk rock. This is the Blink-77's Tanked and Pogoed. And like most of my other picks, I picked this one because it's got even though it's kind of really, really pogo punk, not quite oi, but I think 77 is close to the Casualties, you know what I mean? That's the same scene that they're in. They're a lot catchier though. That's why I picked them, because they have just these great hooks and these great choruses on all every song on the album. And I just love Mike Blink's voice. He's got pretty much my favorite, just punk rock voice, you know.
Yeah.
He's really fun to listen to, kind of like the guy in the band Zeke that Dino picked, and yeah, I love a good just like punk rock growl. You know what I mean? That there's, and I think Mike Blank has one of the best ones on this album, and yeah, they sing about some depressing shit on this album, and a little bit of They never get political though. Like most of their songs are kind of about like how they feel about religion and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like you don't really notice because like just how upbeat and catchy. It's just a really fun record to listen to. Like most of the other ones that we picked, and yeah, this was kind of issued to most people where when I grew up in the 90s, like almost everybody I knew had this record. You know what I mean? And
I had a sneaking suspicion you're gonna pick Blank's album.
And
you mention them quite often, so
it's hard to pick which song I'm gonna pick though, man. I think I'm gonna go with what's it called? Suburbia. Yeah.
All right. Suburbia.
Especially like for people to hear what I mean with the catchiness and like because that one they got the hand clapping at the end and shit. Like it's really fun.
Sweet. Yeah. I think this is like the third or fourth time I've heard you mention them. So yeah, good stuff. All right. So that means it's me.
I almost put Dance With Me on here, man. I love that record so much, but it was kind of hard to pick between Dance With Me and In the Shadows. You know what I mean? Like so I kind of left TSOL off my list, sadly.
All right, I'm going with Rancid. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, this not much to say about this. It's just really fun. You get a little bit. I picked it too because of Tim Armstrong's voice. You know, so people that are getting into punk, you know, a lot of guys have like those either bratty or very distinct voices often in punk singers and stuff. And I thought that was, and it's a very palatable like sound. Like,
well, the cool thing about the vocals on Rancid is you get them from three different people. You get the two guitar player singers, and then the bass player will sing too. Yeah. And like they all sound so different. And that's one of my favorite aspects of Rancid too. But yeah, Tim's probably my favorite vocalist of all time.
Yeah.
Rancid, I always say they're the masters of the hook. Like it doesn't matter how bad any of their voices sound. Like their hooks are so good.
Yeah. And I mean, anyone gives this a chance, they'll get hooked on it for sure. You know, like I mean, that's just the type of music. It's catchy, it's fun.
It's a long album too.
Album for your mom.
Yeah, it's the album for your mom.
Yeah, no,
dude,
is that the one you were talking about?
No, it's cut. I'll probably do it last because it's a pretty obvious choice. So yeah, on this one, I don't know which song to. It'd either be Salvation or Radio. Any one of those two songs, I'll put to the playlist.
Both great songs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Radio because it gets less playtime. So I'm gonna add that one because it doesn't get as much love as Salvation. Salvation, I think, is the big song off that album. So
I'd have went with Sidekick, man. I still want that fucking comic book. Like
I love Sidekick. That'd be the one I'd choose probably.
Marvel, let Tim Armstrong write a Wolverine comic. God damn it.
He's a vigilant sidekick.
Yeah, that's a good song too. Yeah, this whole album is good. Every song on this album.
Does that have 1998 on it?
No, that's on the Life Won't Wait.
Life Won't Wait.
Yeah, it is a pretty big album. It's 23 songs, 44 minutes. So yeah, for a punk album, that's it's
quite nice and long. Yeah, lots of tracks on it for you. Rancid always did that though. Their albums are always pretty hooked up with the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my favorite Rancid album as well. So yeah, people should give that.
I mean, like that's hard to pick, but I have two that it fluctuates between the Let's Go and the Skull and Crossbones album from 2000.
Okay.
Dead Bodies, is that what that one's called? Or Dead Bodies is on that album. Dead Bodies Everywhere.
Yeah, that's the one where like Lars Frederiksen does all the hardcore songs on.
Yeah, it's a great album. I can't pick a favorite, right? It's hard. I love most of their albums.
All right, Dean, you're up again.
All right. So this one's probably going to be my biggest one. This one like shaped my teenage years. Rocket from the Crypt, Scream Dracula Scream. This album, it split this band. I love all their albums, almost all their albums. This would be in the pop punk genre. These guys have split into a whole bunch of my favorite bands, like Hot Snakes, Earthless. What else were they in? Drive Like Jehu, which is probably my favorite album of all time. Drive Like Jehu, Yank Crime, but it's not a punk album. So also the Sultans. They're just a big band. They have a horn section, but they're not a ska punk band.
Yeah.
It's super fun, and yeah, I love all of John Reese's stuff. He's the main guy from Rock from the Crypt. He's in like 30 bands from the San Diego punk rock scene. They're all really good.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that like I remember kind of like skirts the lines of being like an indie rock, almost garage rock style band too. Like they really had like that scenes those scenes as fans as well. And yeah, they were really huge in the 90s, late 90s.
Yeah, they had a good run.
I remember it was funny, like I saw this band but with a weird I saw them with White Zombie, which was like a weird
No way.
Yeah. And they were the second band out of 4 that played. Yeah, it was pretty neat. Yeah, I was blown away because like they came out with horns, and I'm like, "What the fuck's a ska band doing here?" And yeah, they just kind of do like this on a rope. You know, they just kind of got these catchy. They got great catchy choruses too. So, but yeah, the horn section not doing ska was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? So they're almost like the weird Chicago of punk rock.
Yeah. What song you picking off at, Dean?
Oh, geez. Born in '69.
Born. Oh, it's right on the top. There you go.
I think it's like the second song on the album.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. I'd scrolled down quick. Perfect. Yeah, they try to sing in French a little bit on that one song too. Comme si comme ça. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They don't write it in French though. They write it in English. It's pretty funny. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? All right, Glenn, you're up again.
I think I'll go with the Cramps. Stacey. When I was like a teenager and I went into my psychobilly rockabilly phase, I knew Misfits, but the Cramps came really like really fast when I discovered Misfits too. But the Cramps, it was like and also like I would say a horror vibe, obviously, but like it influenced so much of my artwork and my love for more creepy stuff and more spooky things and stuff like that, and more fetish sexual kind of vibes. So and since the Cramps made a comeback with the Wednesday show with the Gugurama, I think it's an album that could be very accessible for anybody who wants to discover more underground punk music. So
good call. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, good stuff. Which song you picking off that?
Oh, totally. Bikini Girls with Machine Guns.
Bikini Girls with Machine Guns.
Yeah,
great title. great title for a song.
Oh yeah, like each title of the Cramps songs inspires me a drawing or like an illustration. Like Bikini Girls with Machine Guns, like what's not to love? So
yeah, that's good stuff. All right, Chase, you're up again.
All right, I'm gonna go with my all-time favorite punk band, Bad Religion, and going with Suffer, which I don't own, but I do own the No Effects Surfer. That's kind of the same logo or cover.
My bad. Let me think that down.
So, you know, same cover, different album. But Bad Religion, I'm a little late to the Bad Religion train. I didn't hear him for the first time till I'd say like 2002. And the
really?
first song I heard is from this album, which is "Do What You Want," and I'd say it changed everything for me. Like,
Go to hell
I
with
did-
Superman and die like the champion you hate.
yeah, yeah, that was Superman.
Go to hell with Superman, dude. I love that lyric.
Me too, man. And, like, comic nerd too, and I heard that, and I was like, hell yeah. And Bad Religion it made me go and dive into everything at that point. I think at that point, what album it just came out? Empire Strikes First might have been coming out, or just like around that area. But this Suffer is
Their second first album. Like I like to refer to it, even though I think it's their third album, it's their second first album because they came out with How Could Hell Be Any Worse?
Any Worse, yeah.
Then what Into the Future was their prog rock album, and then they came back with Suffer and like invented fucking skate punk and
yeah, it was like 5 years later too. Like they had quite a hiatus there before Suffer came out. And yeah, I think Fat Mike said the album changed everything for him. Like, and it's just one of the best punk albums ever, in my opinion. Especially like you said, it created skate punk more or less. Like, it's
they also created like kind of just singing about the most dreadful shit imaginable, but making it so fucking fun to listen to.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Everything's about it too. Suffer, obviously. Forbidden Beat, Land of Competition, Give You Nothing. How Much Is Enough? Like, it's all just some depressing shit, but it's so good.
Well, the band
I just love
so fun. You know what I mean? They make it.
They made me have to carry a thesaurus with me everywhere I went, just in case, like, I heard something I didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
I almost picked the Bad Religion album, and I was like, I find them more of an intermediate like album. Like once you start getting into punk, then you like graduate to Bad Religion.
Yeah,
and then because they're much more serious, in tone. They don't have too many fun, happy songs, right? Like
no, there's always a meaning.
Yeah, there's always pretty serious.
It's like an interpretation of a Bible passage that they don't agree with, or just something about the government.
The first song of theirs I remember hearing was American Jesus, and like that's the I had too was Recipe for Hate, and like Joe, I was gonna pick Bad Religion too. I just didn't know like, is hell any worse? Do I pick Recipe for Hate? Do I pick Suffer, or do I pick No Control or Against the Grain? I mean, like, geez, they what was the other one? Generator. Like they just had
Generator. Yeah. They're so good. I like even their newer, like every album that comes out, I usually get. Like I love. Just what they say, what they're talking. I'd like to have taken one of Greg Graffin's college courses. That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
See, that like early Epitaph is like when I got into Bad Religion when like
I think this was the first album or anything put out by Epitaph.
Was it?
Pretty sure. Yeah. Because that's why they had the hiatus because Brett started Epitaph.
Yeah. That's when I started.
One of the first bands I saw, big bands I saw live also with like Hot Water Music and Less Than Jake.
Was it at a venue or a festival?
I'm sorry?
Was it a venue?
It was at le Centre de Tennis du Parc Jarry.
Oh, really?
In like early 2000s, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a pretty fun lineup though, man. Like
oh yeah. It was so much fun. A lot of thinking too.
Yeah, I saw them at back when it was Metropolis. Telus, yeah.
I wish I would have got to see him. You don't get a lot of punk bands in West Virginia. It just doesn't happen.
No.
They were supposed to be on tour this year, but they canceled it because one of the band members is sick. They were supposed to come to Montreal. We were supposed to go, and we got refunded because they don't know when they're gonna tour. But they're really good on stage.
I saw them during the New America era. Kind of when I caught them, and that was fun. But like, I didn't really like that album too much because they tried to be too pop punk on it. But
but they've been around since what?
Well,
almost like the 80s.
I was so grossed out on that tour too because they were opening for Blink-182, and I thought that was just the most disrespectful thing ever. I'm like, I don't care how much bigger the band is, like. Show respect. You open for Bad Religion,
right?
They're on tour.
They beat nowhere for Bad Religion.
Yeah, they close, man. Like that's how I'd rock,
They harmonize. They're one of the only punk bands that have guitar solos. Like I fuck with Bad Religion. They're a great band.
Mhm. Yeah, good stuff. Johnny, you're next.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip into kind of Dino's territory. I'm gonna go with something that's demonstrably not punk rock, but at the same time punk as fuck. And yeah,
Such a good choice.
this is kind of like another avenue that punk could have went down. You know what I mean? And I think in some cases it did. Like in because like Dino pointed out the Mission from Burma, and when I was listening to that album today, I was like, these guys love the Violent Femmes. No offense or buts about it. And they're a great band to kind of replicate. And this album has like most of my favorite songs. It's got Kiss Off. It's got Added Up.
It's a perfect album.
It's got the overplayed but still beloved Blister in the Sun. Yeah, most of like the Violent Femme songs you want to hear are on this. Even though like I do like their later albums. I love Country Death Song and stuff like that. But this is it's folk punk, you know what I mean? Like it get almost hippie at some points. You got Gone Daddy Gone that's got a fucking xylophone in it. And Gordon, I don't know. There's just something about his weird squeaky voice. It just essentially punk rock in my opinion. Like I know that like a lot of people heard people try to be like, oh, I don't like him, he's whiny, and I'm like, no, that's the point of the music though. He's supposed to be like this. A lot of this music is not like being a rebellious, snotty teenager. Come on, Dad, car tonight, you know, like
and
being all kind of really coarse and rude. And yeah, it's just a beautiful album. Like if you like alt rock, if you like folk, if you there's almost country in some parts, you know what I mean? Like the Violent Femmes original first self-titled album, you can't go wrong with, man. It's just
all right. Chase, I have to come back to you. I forgot to ask you which song you wanted off Suffer.
Oh, Do What You Want.
Do What You Want.
So I would say I love this Violent Femmes pick because I think everybody has like their own headcanon for what they think is a punk band, but it might not essentially be like everyone else would think it's a punk band, but like your own thought. Like
I agree with that 100%.
Like I mentioned with Dean, like there was a time when like alt kind of folk rock, indie rock, and garage rock were all really tightly with punk rock. When I was a teenager, me and my friends, when we weren't listening to Bad Religion, we would check out like we like Dinosaur Jr., we like Sabado, we like Folk and Folk, you know, like these kind of.
I think like I consider like Cake or Ween they're punkish to me, like bands like that.
Well, I mean, I think the Dead Milkmen are only a few steps away from Violent Femmes, right?
Yeah, like, and they're considered a punk rock band with their
That's a good point.
Yeah, Dead Milkmen I find give off a lot of similar vibes as the Violent Femmes. So
the fucking Dead Milkmen are a Simpsons gag that got brought to life.
Yeah.
I'm going with Added Up, bro.
Yeah. Violent.
Yeah, that's the anthem. I'm horny and I'm pissed off about it. God damn it.
Yeah.
Why can't I get just one fuck?
There we go. All right, so this is funny. It's my turn. So Johnny and I I was gonna put Violent Femmes on my list, and then I opted out to put another adjacent band. I put Social Distortion, self-titled, and Johnny was going to take Social Distortion, self-titled, but he went with Violent Femmes instead. So it was funny when we compared our picks because we opted out from our not quite punk, but punk influence type. So
I got the picture vinyl.
Cool.
It's got all the best hits on it, man. Like self-titled is the fucking record. You know, like Mommy's Little Monster's okay, Prison Bound's okay, but like. Self-titled is the one that just fucking rips. It's got the harmonica on it. Like,
I mean, it's rockabilly, but rockabilly is so tied so closely to punk, and a lot of punk bands do get inspired by like 50s rock and stuff, which is rockabilly is definitely takes a lot of like 50s rock and a little bit of blues and shit like that. So
they call it like punkabilly or psychobilly.
Yeah, and I mean, Mike Ness was there in California right when all the punk bands were exploding. He was right there with them. You know, he's no spring chicken. He's pretty old, and I actually got to see them when they came. They had to cancel their concert when they came to Montreal because Mike Ness got throat cancer, so he had to get treatments. And then they just came. They rescheduled for when was it? I went. Was it last May? Anyway, they came back, so I got to see them. So that's a band I got to cross off my bucket list of.
Was it good?
It's awesome.
Who'd you see?
It was awesome.
Last time I saw him, I got to see him with the Horror Pops and Tiger Army, which was fucking excellent.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
Tiger Army's another punkabilly band I would think of.
I almost put Tiger Army 2 on here, man.
Yeah.
That is just such a great Power of Moonlight. Oh God, yeah.
Power of Moonlight.
Belladonna, I think, is who opened for him. Okay. It's more of a bluesy kind of, not at all like what I would have expected them to bring. So yeah, or Belladonna Ray, or anyway, kind of. Anyway, it's a band that comes from around his area that he likes, so he brought him on tour with him, which is pretty cool. The girl is a really good singer, great voice. So yeah, it's good stuff. All right, back to you, Dean. Oh, I got to pick a song off that, right? Yeah. What am I gonna pick off that?
Good luck.
Ball and Chain.
You know what? I'm gonna
Story of My Life. I mean,
Story of My Life was the song that I got introduced on. What's the movie? With what's the movie with Ethan Hawke and what's her face?
Oh yeah, Reality Sucks, right?
Yeah,
Reality Bites.
Reality Bites.
Yeah,
that's the first time I heard a Social D song, because she takes Story of My Life for her presentation.
No. The MTV takes it and like ruins her thing and uses Story as
Pizza Hut. Yeah, they put Pizza Hut on like a pizza and turn it into a Pizza Hut commercial and stuff. Yeah. Bastards.
Great movie. Like that's funny. Ethan Hawke sings "Added Up" in
it. Yeah, he does. Actually,
it's all butthurt because she leaves with Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller, and he's just like, "All right, I'm going to sing like the total incel song."
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. There's more ties to our picks than I thought.
I love Reality Bites, man. That's
a good movie.
One of the better '90s movies out there.
They freak out in the. When is it 500 Miles that plays when they go crazy in the convenience store?
Dun dun dun. When I wake up, well, you know I'm gonna be.
Yeah, and then they start acting out crazy. Yeah, it's good. It's a fun movie. Yeah, a fun after coming of age movie when you have to become an adult and do adult things, but you don't want to grow up. Yeah. All right, Dean, we're back to you.
All right, last one, The Mummies. When I think of punk rock, like this is exactly what I think of, and I think everybody loves it because it's super fun. It's hard not to like. Never Been Caught. That's probably like the only album I can think of, but everybody always just listened to this on cassette tapes because they didn't put out CDs. So you either had records or cassette tapes, and you had cassette tapes that were recorded of a record off of somebody's shitty stereo system. And it just got passed around school over and over again. And I still love this. What I really like is watching them on YouTube. They have some really great videos on YouTube, live videos.
Yeah, they do.
Real fun.
They're a pretty old band too, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely pretty old.
Yeah, hella garagey, man. Almost kind of proto-punk sounding.
Yeah, from like 1990, I think.
Early 90s, yeah.
They got an official old ass sound, man. So they nailed that.
For sure. And I love a keyboard too. I'm a sucker for a keyboard.
They dress up on stage too, right?
Yeah, and the rumor is that there's been like 30 of them. Like nobody knows who the Mummies are, and they recorded all their music in an old furniture warehouse that one worked at.
So similar to the story like Residents as well. They always wear masks, so you don't know how many different members they've had and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool. What song you picking off the album, man?
I don't even really know any of the titles. Your Ass, maybe.
Oh, wait, could I like Stronger Than Dirt. That song is
Yeah.
fucking
That
awesome.
one. Pick that one.
Yeah, Stronger Than Dirt is pretty good. When I was listening to it, I thought that was a great song. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so then your last pick.
I'll go with something recent again, I think. I think this band is like a if Emil and the Sniffers and Ideals had a love child, if we
Okay.
can say it like that. But
Yeah, yeah.
I discovered them a couple weeks ago. It's called Lambrini Girls. They're from the UK. Again with my feminist bands, but yeah. My favorite song on the album is called Contology 101. And it's really raw punk, also a little bit of electronics in it.
Okay.
But it's unapologetically feminist, and it's three girls that are in the band, and it's powerful, raw energy, raw lyrics too. And yeah, I think it's really a hit in the face when you listen to them. And there have also other titles, like for example Help Me I'm Gay, No Homo, stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's a good band to listen to and to lift up your activism and feminism too. So yeah,
Nice.
I love them too. It's really partying and being serious about it a little bit, but yeah, they're really good.
Having fun with a message.
Exactly.
All right, Chase, your last pick.
Did she pick her song from that album?
Yeah, she said Contology 101.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Oh,
All right,
no
yeah.
worries.
So I feel bad about this now, guys. I feel bad for.
How can I forget that one with that title?
I feel bad that I'm going to be putting an 18-minute song on this playlist. So
Is it?
Oh,
Oh,
don't
that's
be.
that
Don't
whole
be.
album. Yeah, it's just one long song, eh?
And
well,
it's
the back is the B side is an alternate version of "Clams Have Feelings Too" from "Pump Up the Value."
What I'll do is I'll put it at the end. I'll put it as the last song on the playlist.
Yeah, that might be a good
Yeah.
idea.
I'll do that so that we could still do it justice without, Yeah, so I'll put it as the last song on the list. So that's
Might be
Is
a
it
good
an
idea.
18-minute long punk song?
well, the album
Yeah.
is like one long song, more or less.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like changes its sound like 8 times throughout the song, if not more.
Yeah.
But it's probably NoFX's best song they've ever written. It's just
I
full
gotta
of
hear it.
just the downfall of what we as people have done, and how we're only have ourselves to blame for what's happening to our world and our society. It's a very heavy song.
I love that era of them, the W. Bush era, where they were like fucking pissed off and actually writing.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
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 Oh,
War and Arism is one of my favorite albums from during that time, and Wolves and Wolves Clothing. But this song's like I wrote a couple of the lyrics down just because it goes so like lost the battle, lost the war, lost the things worth living for, lost the will to win the fight. One more pill will kill the pain. Like it's just the going gets tough, the tough gets dead. Don't pay attention, pay your rent. The next of kin will pay for your sins. A little faith will keep you safe. Like just all problems they have with our society is taken out in this song, and it's wonderful. It's one of the best written punk songs ever, and it's 18 minutes long. And I don't know. I saw them do it live.
okay.
They started the show and said the first 20 minutes of this show is going to be awesome. It's probably going to be downhill after that, and it was a great show. In the middle of it, Melvin pushed Fat Mike off the stage, and he hurt his leg, and he had to finish the rest of it with his leg propped up in a chair.
Okay, yeah, I
Like,
heard about that. Yeah.
It was a pretty fun show. But it's just a great song. And if you just really other than being super catchy, because at this point they're just really good at playing their instruments, even if they don't want to be. It's just it's heavy, and I think everybody should listen to it. And I think my friends listen to it all the time. If they've never listened to punk or something. I love it.
Oh yeah, I saw NoFX in Montreal for they Forever Gone concert, like for and they played it, and it was like it's this moment lives rent free in my head forever now. It's
Mhm.
like one of the best songs I heard live. Like the song is so good on the album, but like live, it's on another level. So it was insane.
When the whole crowd starts like marching with it and all the chanting at
Yeah.
the end, and
I'm
Hefe
talking
pulls
about
out
it,
the
and I have
trombone.
chills right now. Yeah, it goes in it.
Hefe's just playing away on the trombone and stuff. It's just it's so good, and to
It is.
experience it live was great too. But I think it's just as far as punk songs go, it's a very important punk song. I think.
It is totally.
Yeah, last time I saw him live was a pump up the volume era.
Oh, nice.
That was quite a while though. I wish I could have saw them when they were like all pissed off at George W. Bush and being like all like kind of hardcore punk though about themselves.
That was the time that I saw him. Yeah, in the like 2003, 2002, something like that. 2004. Whenever Wolves in Wolf Clothing came out, it was around that time.
I saw them once as well. At the Metropolis, and at the end, people just took all their empty water bottles and just kept throwing them for like 5 minutes nonstop, and it was just like a shower of water bottles flying all over the place. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
The venue I was at like was really strict on watching people smoking and stuff, so I ate 2 joints. It was a pretty good time.
You ate a joint?
Yeah, just me and everybody I was with, we all had 2 joints each. We were planning on getting like shit faced, and they were watching us like hawks, and we all just like threw them in our mouths and ate them. They had orange wraps on them, so they didn't taste bad. But I mean, they did taste bad. That's a lie. But about 40 minutes into the show, it really started kicking in.
Yeah, I guess I'd imagine so. I've eaten weed before a few times back in the day at trimming parties. So vanilla cake.
Yeah, do what you got to do sometimes.
The shake, the leaves get put into vanilla cake and had a big ass piece. Let's just say
sprinkle it on pizza.
Yeah, I was pretty.
I can give you my recipe for butter or oil if you want.
Yeah.
It
seems like more work. I just grated it in my mouth.
Yeah.
You boil it down into a butter and make cookies. Yeah.
Can I just say real quick, as a 46-year-old man, that's my worst nightmare now. Is like eating weed and going to a punk rock concert. I would be so afraid.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Yeah. Johnny, your last pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like Celine. This is like new school, like the newest of the new. I'm going with School Drugs. Their
oh yeah,
their new 4 EP album, Funeral Arrangements. They got Visitation, Absolution, Procession, and Resolution are the 4 EPs, and it goes from being kind of like gloomy horror punk. Oh, I mean, like they got a really good 1980s hardcore punk sound. They like legit sound like they could have been around with Black Flag and the Bad Brains, and because the guitar work is really tight and like they're just really good at replicating like the old school hardcore sound. But this album does got because it's funeral arrangements. There are quite a few songs about death, but there's also like funny songs like I Feel Like Shit and I Can't Slow Down. So it's kind of mixed, but like everything else that I've picked tonight, they got some pop sensibilities to them. They got some really good hooks and some really fun choruses, and just this album is very good, man. Like I'm calling it an album that is supposedly at some point they're going to release the whole thing as one LP, but like it's a album in 4 parts thing that they put out. Kind of artsy, but I think it also kind of helped them save money. I think maybe press EPs is a little cheaper than trying to do 12 inches. So
yeah, and if you're touring extensively, it gives you something new to put out as well as you're going, instead of like doing a 1-year tour on an LP and then waiting 2 years to put something out. A lot of bands now are doing the EPs and they just put an EP out every year and tour continuously, and it just gives them something new to put out every year so people don't get tired of them and stuff. So it's a good strategy. I mean, a lot of bands have been doing that now. So,
and I mean, for songs on this album to pick, man, I really like the first song on the album, Death Vine, but I also like a song called Haunted, and then With Sympathy, like are all really good. Like, so I'm gonna go just with Sympathy though, like the first song on the last EP.
Sympathy.
It kind of reminds me of that song "Anything Anything" by Drama Rama. I
I'm
fucking
trying
love
to
that song.
find it. Where is it? Oh, maybe
That's
they
another
won't.
band
Oh,
that
Procession. Here we go. No,
I can't
find
find
it,
it.
man. It's
I
all
think
split up
I think it's on Resolution, the last one.
with
Little
Sympathy.
flower. With Sympathy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Found it.
Yeah, you brought this up. This every time they've released an EP, you've always brought it up on the when we did our music episodes before.
They got the really great fun sound to them, you know what I mean? Well, meanwhile, they're like I said, they're singing about like death related topics and
Yeah.
yeah, but and like songs like Haunted, it's definitely got like a horror punk because that like song actually has like uh organ in it, organ playing in it. So I always love when the bands throw a little shit like that in. Out instruments that aren't punk rock, but they can be like harmonica or organ.
I wasn't surprised to see this on your picks when I saw them.
Yeah, I really enjoy School Drugs. From like all the new school stuff, they definitely are like my jam, my favorite.
Cool. Celine, you were gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say that what Johnny said about like instruments that are not like punk rock at first place, but there was a band in Montreal that was called the Mau Mau back in the days. I don't know if they're still active, but it's what MAW, and they were playing punk, but there was a theremin in the band.
Okay.
So it gave like a very spacey UFO kind of sound with horror punk. So it was really good too.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a German band I really like called Piss, Pisse, and like they have a really kind of fun like sci-fi style keyboard and a lot of their stuff. Yeah, they're kind of like the Chats, man. They're just like kind of really just goofy kind of garage punk sound to
Awesome.
them, but like they have like that crazy sci-fi keyboard.
That's so cool.
Cool. All right, my last pick. I saved it for last because it's a pretty obvious one. I went with Ramones Mania. I don't actually own this album, but I had a friend that had it when we were growing up, and they put it on all the time. And this is pretty much how I listened to the Ramones, was from this album. And this is the album that I pretty much picked that maybe my mom could maybe sit through. Because it's got that throwback, right? It's like greaser punk, right? Their aesthetic too. They've got that like Rebel Without a Cause kind of look to them with the leather jacket. They just don't have the slicked hair is the only difference, right? They have the bop.
Yeah,
They've got that bop do, you know. But I mean, they're like a punk band that, you know, decided to have a uniform, right, where everyone kind of dressed the same. So they had that aesthetic. Like they were a very thought out band. And I mean, they got some 50s rock kind of influence. You got some surfer rock influence in their music. I mean, there's a good variety that comes out from the Ramones. And I mean, there's a reason why they're considered one of the big punk bands of the 70s, especially from the US, when a lot of the bands were coming out of the UK. The Ramones were representing the U.S. pretty good, along with the New York Dolls. What are the other one? The boys. What are they called?
Dead Boys.
Dead Boys as well. Like they were representing New York pretty good. So yeah, but the Ramones were probably the ones who got the most shine out of all of them. So I went with the Ramones. Yeah, because yeah. I mean, what song should I put off this? I mean, Teenage Lobotomy is pretty good.
Teenage Lobotomy is a very big classic.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you got Sheen as a punk rocker. It's pretty good. They're all pretty good. I mean, but I think Teenage Lobotomy. I'll go with that.
Lobotomy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that they make a movie about the Ramones after all that kind of shit that came out about Johnny Ramone, the way like used to beat up Joey and Dee Dee all the time.
Yeah, they didn't get along at all.
I'm actually kind of like would like to see a film about that. 'Cause it sounds pretty brutal. I didn't realize that Johnny was so fucking just authoritarian over the rest of the band. Their
Oh yeah,
whole
he was
career.
such a bully.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like I heard like he literally used to just beat on Joey if like he fuck up on stage and stuff.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
like the Ramones, it's funny because I didn't know that. I just when I was reading up on it, it's a Paul McCartney reference. The reason why they
Yeah.
call themselves the Ramones because Paul McCartney used to sit in for other bands and he'd use the name Ramon, like
Yeah.
Ramon, Ramon.
And he'd use it at hotels and stuff too.
Yeah. So then like was it the drummer? The original drummer used to use that as his stage name, and then when they formed the Ramones, they all liked it, so they all adopted it as their like whatever Joey Ramone, and they all called themselves Ramone, and yeah, that's how
I
they.
know that
The drummer,
they
I
all
think,
switched.
Tommy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I know they all switched positions. Like at one point, I think Joey was the drummer.
he
Like-
originally started as the drummer, but they liked his vocals better, so they switched him out and they put the other guy on drums, and then he became the front man because the other guy couldn't handle. I think his voice couldn't handle touring and playing as many shows, and so
I
that's
think he
how it
even
got-
like had asked to lead off of it. Like,
okay, yeah. So
yeah, I love the Ramones. They had a lot of different sounds too. I mean,
My favorite is that song "I Want You Around." That like their emotional love songs were kind of funny. Like that they
yeah.
had an era of doing those, like just kind of just cheesy '50s kind of love songs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to be your boyfriend.
Oh yeah. Hey little girl.
I always think of
Oh,
Warthog. Warthog is like the most punkest sounding song they have. Warthog sounds like straight up punk rock.
And they did that hippie album that was really good, like of '60s covers, Acid Eaters. I love that album of theirs, to tell you the truth.
I can't find that No Effects album now to add to the end of the playlist.
The Decline.
Yeah, I think it's not under albums; it's under I think singles because it's considered one song. Where is it? Am I even on the right thing? I think I went too far. Anyway.
But yeah, for all you people listening at home or that just joined us, yeah, we totally put all the songs that we've talked about and bands in a playlist that Joey's kind of put together. So yeah, enjoy. You're definitely gonna get a wide range of punk rock tonight, man.
yeah.
And one 18-minute song.
You're
Oh, there it is.
welcome.
Usually that's my problem. I'm always like, and a lot of our other shows, I love the band Between the Buried and Me, and like I'm usually the guy that's bringing 18-minute songs to the playlist.
Yeah, it was 13, I think. 13 or 16, I can't remember. Yeah. There we go. I think that's it. The playlist is complete. It's easier that way if I do it while we're recording instead of re-listening to the episode. And
That was awesome. I was writing them all down until you said you were making a playlist, and I stopped.
Yeah. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Dean, Celine, and
that was
Chase.
fun.
Yeah.
I have so many more. I could do this many more times.
Oh
The
yeah.
amount of picks I still have is crazy.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, next month, I'm not sure yet. We haven't officially decided on what we're going to talk about, but
Well, there's
we're
one
going
that I've wanted to do, like
Yeah?
the greatest pop punk song ever.
Greatest pop punk song.
Yeah, our pick. I figured that'd be a nice topic to kind of take on.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Well, I mean, like when I say pop punk, I'm not talking about like when most people think about like when I my version of it kind of covers most of the shit that Epitaph ever put out. Because when I was a teenager and like we were listening to punk rock in California, like most bands like Guttermouth and Vandals and NoFX were considered pop punk just because they, voices and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'd say
They're fringe. They kind of teeter back and forth between the two.
so like
Mhm.
when I say pop punk, I'm talking like Face to Face, 88 Finger Louie, all that shit. You know what I mean? No Use for a Name. Like that's all pop punk to me.
Face to Face is good. I almost picked one of their albums.
Yeah.
I just his
Face
voice
to Face is good.
I think his voice is just a little too for people that maybe not into it yet.
Yeah, they're
No.
they're intense, especially most of their stuff, like later stuff. They
Mhm.
tried to get on that Pennywise wagon and just kind of being like intense pop punk.
Yeah, but
I like Pie Tasters. They're pretty good too.
mhm.
Yeah,
So,
they're
yeah.
super fun.
And we could do a ska show, man. Like I know Joe doesn't like ska. But like,
Well, I don't hate it.
I thought about taking
like-
the Aquabats. Like
like
if a kid's trying to get into punk,
Oh, the
Aquabats are
Aquabats.
good.
I like Voodoo Glow Skulls. I like Operation Ivy. That's maybe it.
What about the specials?
Oh yeah, the specials. I dig the specials. Yeah, like that British ska. I get
Like
into the
two tone.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd throw on some Ika Mouse, you know what I mean, or like Yellow Man, some actual Jamaican ska, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more the like what's that big one? Is it Less Than Jake? Are they a ska band?
There's Less Than Jake.
Yeah,
Yeah, Goldfinger. I don't like.
Finger, Real Big
like-
Fish.
Yeah, I'm not into all that stuff.
You
Catch
don't like
22.
Less
That was
Than
Ska
Jake?
Police, the satanic ska band.
Oh, Satanic Surfers.
Oh yeah. Planet Smashers.
Yeah, I loved all that Hellcat ska. That was like actually like some of the best stuff, like the Acolytes and Buju Banton, all that shit that they put out.
I like the Interrupters right now. That's pretty good ska.
Oh no.
Yeah, Rancid with a girl.
The Interrupters, it's like if like the Mickey Mouse Club had a punk side. I don't like the Interrupters. I'm so sorry.
That's great.
It's not that bad. It's catchy. It's good, but like
Yeah, it's radio friendly.
They're kind of more like the Wiggles than Mickey Mouse Club, but yeah.
Who was that ska band that got viral because the singer pissed in that guy's face on stage?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I don't remember.
I thought that was like the greatest video. I was like, they're bringing it back. Here it comes. All right, Ska's back.
I don't even know what
Kissing
that
all
is.
over him and then throwing it on the crowd. You
Yeah.
guys didn't see that video?
How long
yeah.
ago was this?
Case, I'm
like-
glad you saw it, man.
I don't know. Was it like 2021? So like it was a time of COVID.
It was
So
great.
Don't send it to me. I don't want it
Oh, you have to see it.
polluting my algorithm.
It's good. Yeah, you gotta see
It's
it.
real good.
Then I get fucking pissing videos coming up on my.
Was
feed
it,
all the time.
You already have them.
Was it the lead singer of Bikini
Pitchfork.
Kill or the Slits that like pulled her tampon out and threw that in the crowd?
I think it
Ooh, I
was
don't know.
Bikini Kill, yeah.
There you go.
That would be very Caitlyn Anna to do that.
Yeah. What a memento from a concert, eh?
Yeah, I like her voice. She's in several bands.
Well, she
Yeah.
almost made it onto the playlist.
Bands just be doing weird shit like that, like the Dillinger Escape Plan. Like at one show, like the singer got pissed off, just shit in a bag and left it on stage. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it takes all kinds to make the world. Right?
Maybe he just needed to go. I don't know. Like I got on stage and like he thought he could like go through the whole show before he had to go, but like 3 songs in, you know what I mean? It's like no more Wendy's.
Well, he wouldn't be the first. I mean, as
When we
DG
got the
mentioned,
gurgles are happening, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Gigi Allen has some beats, so
Yeah.
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 We were talking about that nasty fucker earlier.
Yeah. Cool. So thank you everybody for showing up. Anyone that listens to the replay, you can queue up the playlist on Spotify. You can click on it in the description below, and you could kind of play the music as the discussion goes along. We'd play the music as we talk, but then you know how YouTube is with all their
The licensed music, but I don't know how punk bands would do it.
mhm.
You would hope not, but you
I was
never know.
thinking about, but I didn't know what songs people would choose, and like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like just look up my favorite song from the album. You know what I mean? Kind of.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. But maybe in the future we could look
In
into it.
Chase's case, I'd have probably picked "Do What You Want" from Bad Religion. Like that would have been probably one of my first picks off that album.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah,
Who else? We're back the next Saturday. We're gonna have Keenan and Alex on to talk about
Vengeance is for the Living.
yes.
That'll be sweet.
Vengeance is
I
for
love
the
that
living.
comment.
You want to come on with us, Dino?
No, I want to watch it though.
Okay. Well, you're welcome if you want to come on and talk to them.
No, I appreciate the invite. I'm excited to watch this one.
Yeah. So that's next Saturday, and I don't know. We might have. We'll see if we do something on Tuesday or Thursday, but officially next Saturday.
Yeah, we'll probably figure something else fun out. You know what I mean? Like I really like doing that superhero episode the other day. That was a blast, man.
Well, I actually talked to Maddie now, and he wants to come on the show, so we have to set that up.
Nice. So yeah. We're gonna have all the cool indie guys on, man. We got Rod Stick coming up. We're gonna have
on the 10th. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we're gonna get Wesley Griffith back on.
Yeah, he's got 6, 7 issues in now for the Jump.
I think he's working on 6. 5 just came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like cool comic news. And for the next music show, we're gonna try to do these once a month.
Yeah.
And the pop punk thing might not be the next episode. It's just something I wanted to spitball. But we're definitely gonna be back with some fun music talk with heavy rotation because I like this format. I enjoy talking music, and I don't get to do it in my everyday life with most people, and actually get to talk about the bands I like. So
yeah,
cool.
Same.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, take it easy, y'all.